My name is Mike Matthews. I'm the host of the longest-running self-produced daily podcast by a guy named Mike in the land of Madame Rootabega, the last place on earth, in Café Anyway here in Podcastro Valley. It is Mike's Daily Podcast, FFF episode 3147, 3147. I am so tired of the awful, horrible YouTube ads. I'm watching, okay, I don't have an ad blocker. I'll watch on the YouTube something and I immediately get interrupted by a commercial with some guy trying to sell me beef jerky or somebody telling me, hey, you need to do this to be healthy. And it's supposed to be a doctor, but he's completely AI generated. You think I can't tell this guy is completely AI generated? He looks like a robot talking. The visual effects of what's his face in Rogue One were better. The Peter Cushing character, but he had died decades ago, so they resurrected him with AI. It was awful. So this is what they're doing. In this year, YouTube's ad ecosystem changed a lot to focus on making as much money as possible, even if it means sacrificing the viewer experience. This, according to Brisk Tech Solutions at brisktechsoul.com. Okay. Why would it be? Oh, I guess that's short for solutions. So I'm thinking Spanish for sun? What? Longer ads that can't be skipped, annoying pause ads, and a strict policy against ad blockers are making users even more and more angry. This in-depth look at YouTube ads looks at why they're more annoying than ever, how they affect engagement, and what the platform could do to make things better. Well, let's see. It says 47% of users now use ad blockers, and that is up from 5 years ago. It was just at 27% now to almost half of all users use ad blockers. And watch time for all the subscribers that YouTube has, and they're always bragging about how they have not a whole lot more subscribers than Netflix. But they've got, I think, like YouTube's at 58% and Netflix is somewhere at 47%. So they're not too far away from each other as far as millions. I'm talking about millions. But they have now apparently have lost a lot of viewers because of this. That's what that sentence, where I was going with that sentence. And viewers are leaving to find ad-free platforms, TikTok, Nebula, never heard of them, Rumble, and you can find me on Rumble, if you go and you type in Mike's Daily Podcast. I think I'm at Mike's Daily Podcast on Rumble, but it's just the short 1-minute videos on there with the characters. So they offer fewer ads or no ads. So YouTube is losing its grip on user retention, and their algorithm changes have been irritating people, and they've actually had ad revenue decline. The longer ads equals more revenue, but fewer happy viewers. And they now prioritize 30-second unskippable ads and multiple mid-roll placements to maximize revenue. Mid-roll meaning it suddenly you're watching the video and suddenly in the middle there's a commercial that pops up, or a couple times commercials pop up. So 35% of the people that put those videos up there, that create the videos, or creators as they are called, report lower ad earnings. That is 35, a huge number. Over a third-ish. Lower ad earnings, they're complaining, due to stricter monetization policies. YouTube is cracking down. They're being more stingy. And YouTube premium growth means fewer people see ads, and that's shrinking the ad pool. So people are scurrying over to YouTube premium, but that means less people are seeing the ads. So advertisers are also seeing declining return on investment. And the cost per 1,000 impressions increased by 18% until 2 years ago. And then it started to decline. And then the click-through rates, where people actually click on the ads to see what it's advertising, maybe buy what they're advertising, that has dropped by 9%. It's making ads less effective. The viewers describe being hit by multiple ads back to back, especially around 8 to 10 minutes into the video where all the mid-roll commercials start. They complain about broken playback where they pause ads. If you pause the ads, they sometimes glitch, forcing users to restart the video all over again. And then there's screen clutter, the interactive elements, obscure captions or video controls, and that frustrates accessibility for the viewers. And what's interesting is on YouTube, the session lengths, the length of the videos has declined by 8% among the free tier users earlier this year, the first quarter of this year. People are skewing towards the shorts, the short form content, which is what TikTok has gotten so famous using and showing. That consumption has soared 25% as viewers seek ad-free snippets. And also, there's a shift to playlists. Some users create long playlists of content under 60 seconds, and that helps bypass those mid-rolls, those annoying commercials that air in the middle of your video. There was a YouTube ads worst ever hashtag that trended for 3 weeks earlier this year on X. Despite the uproar, many users feel locked in with billions of hours of unique content. They think that leaving YouTube entirely feels impractical, so frustration remains bottled up, manifesting in passive resistance, like skipping the creator ad, switching to premium on occasion rather than a mass exodus. Brisk Tech Solutions suggest that the platform's future depends on coming up with new ads that don't get in the way of watching. I would agree. Oh, and by the way, you can listen to this podcast on YouTube. I do have a YouTube channel, which you can find at Mike's Daily Podcast or youtube.com/Mike's Daily Podcast. Or there's a link at my website, mikesdailypodcast.com, where you can essentially listen to this podcast there. I don't really have the video of me talking into the microphone because that would be so boring. Instead, I open the door for you and we go into Café Anyway. Let's do that now. It's Café Anyway.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth in the land of Meritoptica, it's Mike Matthews. Hi. We're doing a show that's called Mike's Daily Podcast. And it is episode 3147. There are so many things you can rhyme with 7, like heaven, 11, and Kevin, and that's it. So then, what? There's something else? No then. Mike's Daily Podcast. When are we going to be done talking about rhyming things with 7? How about now? That's good. Mike's. All right. Daily. I don't know what you got. Podcast. Here at the end of the month. Yeah. The end of August. Did you know September 1st is the meteorological first day of autumn? Meteorologically speaking. All those weather people that you see on the news. And if they're women, I see here in this Bay Area, the women are always, they're messing with their hair. Sometimes they get caught on camera playing with their hair, like foofing it up. Is that the right verb? Foofing it? To make it look like it has a little more body and shape, I guess. I don't know. I haven't had hair in a long time. I forget what yours is. Is it zhuzh? Anyway, Café Anyway. The point is, that's meteorological first day of the autumn. That's wonderful, isn't it? So, as we get close then to autumn, and I walked into the store here, I think it was August the 25th, I was in a store, and oh my gosh, it had a bunch of Halloween candy. So yeah, that's happening in the Bay Area as well, if you'd like a report about that. What other sugary things that are bad for you is there to enjoy? How about Coca-Cola rolling out cane sugar, a cane sugar version of their namesake soda in the U.S. Speaking of fall, that's when they're going to do it. They first started using high fructose corn syrup.
Here's today's podcast picture.
Oh, the podcast picture is not of high fructose corn syrup, but of the Hayward Regional Shoreline. I forget what the name of this creek is, but it's right over there. It's near Heron Bay. It's, I think, technically more San Lorenzo than Hayward, but I don't know. It's a cool spot. You can walk along at East Bay Regional Park District. It's supposed to maintain it. I don't know how well they really maintain it, but it's nice to walk along. You see a lot of people getting some fresh air. Late great Basil the Boxer and I went there many, many, many times and took all kinds of awesome pictures. But see this recent picture at mikesdailypodcast.com and all my past podcast pictures if you want to get a sense of what the Bay is and some of the beauty that you can behold in the East Bay. But you know what beauty does not exist in the East Bay? That would be the beauty of clear roads, of smart drivers, of no angst at all driving. We're talking idiot-free driving. That does not exist at all in the East Bay. The worst drivers probably are all in the Bay Area, but the East Bay, oh my gosh, I see them every day. So horrible. So you're driving in the fast lane and someone is in front of you driving super slow in the fast lane, and then I'm sorry, George Carlin was speaking in my ear for the ghost of George Carlin was making some kind of joke. I remember that bit he did.
This is interesting.
Wow, this is interesting.
This is interesting. Idiots are the ones that go really fast, and the slowpokes are basically a bad word. So he's complaining about somebody in front of him that's really slow, but then he go, oh my gosh, look at that idiot go. So that's what it is you've got two lanes on beautiful Mission Boulevard, which actually they've done a lot to beautify it. When I first came to the Bay Area, it did not look nice. They've spent many, many years making it look better, beautifying it over, I think, at least 10 years, so that people can feel a little more safe walking up and down it, wearing their jeans. Jeans are passed down. My jeans are blue. I love my blue jeans, blue. Oh, she sounds like she has some kind of speech problem going on. This delinquency. I guess her movie didn't do too well. Yes, I guess she released a movie. But, you know, it's going to happen when you put out an artsy movie. She does some of these artsy movies, and then, you know, I think she gets the big bucks from the streaming services like HBO and Netflix. She's done some big shows. That particular actress, I won't say her name. You've heard her name too much lately. But what I'm talking about is that you can't get over if someone's slow in front of you, going 2 miles an hour and hitting their brakes every 5 seconds, and you try and get around them, but you can't because there's a fast person. There's an idiot that's flying past you. If you were to cut in front of them, you'd probably cause an accident. That doesn't stop all the people in the Bay Area from cutting in front of you. It happens constantly. But yeah, I'm like, I'm going to try and get around this slow person. They're going so slow, dangerously slow. So I try to get around them, and it's not just one idiot, but several idiots going very, very fast. So you can't get in that other lane to get around them. And every day, that exact same thing happens, which is why I need a Coke. But yeah, they first started using high fructose corn syrup to sweeten their soda in the U.S. in the 80s.
Right? Good.
80s. Rival Pepsi is launching in the fall the Pepsi Prebiotic Cola, which includes 3 grams of fiber and 5 grams of cane sugar. Wow, what a combo. You got to have your sugar with your fiber, said no doctor ever, or no smart, legitimate doctor. Credible, legit. I'll quit. Snoop Dogg, speaking of rapping, was I talking about rapping? I guess MC Hammer was a rapper. And then there was Snoop Dogg. And Snoop Dogg is still around. MC Hammer's preaching, I think. As we go outside of Café Anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth in the land of Meritoptica. He has added to his sprawling empire, Snoop Dogg has. He's now co-owner of the Welsh Soccer. I guess it's adding to his wealth. The Welsh Soccer Club Swansea City. The team gains further capital and eyeballs of Snoop's 100 million plus social media followers. Yes, he has 100 million plus social media followers.
It's pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm. So now that Welsh soccer team gets those views. He's into soccer. And let's see, that his net worth, so Snoop Dogg's a soccer fan. He's got $160 million is his worth. Meanwhile, the South Park creators, they've added $1.5 billion to their bank accounts in that streaming deal that was made about a month ago with Paramount Plus. The global streaming rights, which don't know if that includes a bowl of chowder, they get about $300 million a year from the global streaming rights, and that's for 5 years, so I guess that equals out $1.5 billion, what it comes out to. Kenny, Kyle, Stan, and Cartman have a home, but meanwhile, the question that's being asked by the folks over at USA Today is, why is South Park changing their September schedule? After a 1-week break and a release of its latest episode, Comedy Central South Park announced...
And the Oscar goes to...
Not that South Park won an Oscar. Although, didn't they get nominated for that song about Blame Canada? I think it was. Blame Canada. That's what Trump does now. See? It's come to fruition. Comedy Central South Park announced it would change its episode release schedule from weekly to bi-weekly. No, we gotta wait an extra week before we get one. Bi-weekly, wait, or does that mean 2 a week? I always get confused by the term bi-weekly. The network confirmed that new episodes will be released according to the...
Relax, guy.
See? He's telling me to relax. Because it came to fruition. It'll be released according to the updated schedule, at least through September. Season 27 of South Park has only aired 3 episodes to date, featuring portrayals and jokes targeting the Trump administration, including Vice President J.D. Vance, Trump, Kristi Noem. Between those 3 releases, the show has already...
Revenge is a dish best served cold. You think about that.
Oh, that's from a different cartoon that was very irreverent. The show has already had 2 hiatuses, one between episode 1 and 2 and the other between episode 2 and 3. So it means that kind of bi-weekly. Paramount announced the next 2 episodes of South Park will be released Wednesday, September 3rd, and then the next one 2 weeks later, September 17th, both on Wednesdays. The next episode of South Park will first air on Comedy Central.
Mike, you're such a creative soul.
I wish I was creative as Trey and that other guy. Trey Parker and Matt Stone, that's right. Very creative. So Matt Stone's the one that never ages. Trey is aging like crazy. I don't think he eats the best. It's not the healthiest. He's a bit of a foodie, but he likes the food that's not healthy for you. I get the feeling. The next episode of South Park will first air on Comedy Central, then available for streaming on Paramount Plus. Yes, Paramount Plus is cashing in. They offer 2 subscription plans.
Mike, you want to join in on this conversation? You can join in.
Is it about the 2 subscription plans? Because I would like to finish this sentence. Paramount Plus Essential is like $8 a month and provides access to thousands of episodes, movies, and live NFL on CBS with limited ads. And then the Paramount Plus Premium is not $9 or not $8 per month, but $13, and includes everything in the Essential plan plus Showtime originals. I don't think I've liked a single Showtime show ever. Blockbuster movies and live TV with fewer ads. It's just a lot of cussing.
All right.
I know you like to cuss, but I don't need to see that. I don't need to see the same. It's lazy writing, and someone's always smoking marijuana. Every single Showtime show ever made has that, and I don't need it.
Fair and unbalanced.
Fair and unbalanced. That was my fair and unbalanced review of that particular network. But what else is there? Oh my gosh. So, games for granny. Adults that are 50 and older. I guess I could technically be a grandfather now. Now comprise almost 1/3 of U.S. gamers. That's right, adults 50 and older. Players enjoy the social aspects of multiplayer platforms. That's why they like to game, the adults 50 and older. It's ridiculous, I know. On top of entertainment and potential cognitive benefits of playing games. 1/3. So the gamers are no longer just a millennial thing or a Gen Zer thing. Outside of Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth in the land of Meritoptica, look who is here.
Oh my gosh, it's Madame Rootabega. I love to play video games. I love to play them all the time. Ooh.
You know, it's true, because like I grew up where the video games at Pac-Man and all that was starting to get really popular. And there was a really cool Star Wars game that used, I think they called it vector graphics, because they hadn't figured out yet how to do the whole 3D. It allowed you with this vector 3D generated type thing to fly and spin around and look like you were bombing the Death Star. It was awesome. And you know what? I'm going to give you a live and loco about it.
Live and loco.
Well, I'm live, but I'm not. Well, I guess I'm not really live. I'm live at the moment on Facebook because I turned on my modem, and I'm now videoing myself on my Facebook page / Mike's Daily Podcast, facebook.com/Mike's Daily Podcast. You can also go through the link at mikesdailypodcast.com. But yes, we were bombing the Death Star, and the place that I was going to say that was local, but actually it's not local because I'm in the Bay Area now. But when I lived down in the San Fernando Valley as a kid, and then later moved up to Ventura County, I was going to this particular golf and stuff type place that had a big castle, and there was all around the castle were little miniature golf, putt. I lived in the South for a while. They call it putt. But miniature golf, playing little, windmills, and what other things do they have? Little mines, like you're in an old mine with the miner 49ers. And is that an offensive term?
But if you get offended, that's the way the cookie crumbles. No.
Okay. And then other themed areas. And then inside this big castle were all their video games. And they'd constantly get the newest ones. And Pengo and Galaga and Gork or Gorf. I forget what that one was. Oh my gosh. They have these extreme video game conferences, conventions around the Bay Area and maybe near you. That's pretty interesting. You'll play like Dragon Slayer or one of those defunct games. People bought them and kept them going. It's amazing. So the point is that I guess I was on the crest on the beginning of all that game playing, and some of us never let it go. Although I do have this thing that plugs into my TV. It's this little box that's got a little, I guess you would call it a joystick. It's the name of it. It was a bizarre name, I know. But it has the little stick you use to control the character. And it has like a little ball on top. It's crazy how I'm describing this. But it allows me to play the game Dig Dug. And that brings back memories to Van Nuys Boulevard. They tried to open a White Castle on not Ventura Boulevard. Van Nuys Boulevard. Ventura Boulevard intersects Van Nuys Boulevard in a very famous part of the valley. And I think there's a movie theater near there where I saw the Poltergeist and scared the out of me. But then here at this White Castle and that was really near to where I lived, they had a Dig Dug game. And I would play that and eat the really tiny hamburgers that people just love to eat.
Mike's Daily Podcast Master Pod Theater.
Oh, I would love to eat a tiny burger. So small. I am very theatrical. I am an actor in the theater. End scene.
Thank you. Madame Rootabega, do you like theater?
Yes.
Did you like that play that just appeared on the podcast suddenly?
Yes.
Do you like when things appear suddenly?
No.
I know, it's a little bit scary. Look who else is here.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, we wanted to tell you that we love going to the theater and we love watching all this cultural stuff that teaches us things.
Yeah, teach us things. Do you know that? Excellent. I hope everyone learns something. That's important. Every day you should learn something that helps you. Big thanks to Desi Liddick, who did that wonderful Sydney Sweeney impression earlier with the horrible vocal fry. See, if these actors, quote unquote actors, and here's my absolutely useless review about that.
Mike's absolutely useless review.
And this is not a new thing, but actors for the longest time, very seldom do you see any of them do any theater. And that's what makes those British actors so dang good. That's why I enjoy watching the BritBox and Acorn and PBS Masterpieces. These actors have done a lot of work on the, what do they call it? On the floorboards, on the stage, getting up there in front of an actual audience and acting and doing a performance. And you get so many of these kids that maybe did a little bit of that in high school, and then the rest of the time some big movie company found them and threw them into this, that, and the other thing, and they kept saying yes, and pretty soon they're in these big movies, and they haven't learned to act at all. They're just mumbling.
Mike ripped someone a new one.
And they're vocal frying, and I don't get it. And that's my completely useless, absolutely useless review about that. But what do you think about any of that? Here's the number to call.
Call Mike at the Café Anyway hotline. Area code 510-228-4640.
Will you shut ups? Liberty Nation Freedom Phone for all.
And with all things having to do with Mike's Daily Podcast, we go to the mainframe and hear from A-Frame. And we would love to hear from you too. So make sure to remember this email or listen to this email and then remember it. I guess you could go in that particular order if you would like. With more on that, it is A-Frame. Thank you for listening.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com.
Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com.
See you tomorrow. Bye!